This is the first in occasional new TV series by croaky.org called Health Matters. I'm May Finlay, I'm a Yorta woman and a public health practitioner. Given it's the national election, we actually thought we'd focus this issue on election and health. I recently had lunch with a friend of mine who's a traditional Liberal supporter, and he's broken his hand and he's realised through actually navigating the health system how big an issue universal healthcare is, and also has actually said to me that Medicare privatisation is an election issue for him at this election. Now, the Labor Party has been saying that the Liberals plan to privatise Medicare if they're successful at this election. The Liberals say this is a blatant lie. Blatant lie. Where has this come from? Well, the task force was set up to look at the commercial privatisation of health and aged care payment services. The Liberals have actually come out and said they plan on privatising no aspect of Medicare here on in if they're elected. Now, the privatisation of Medicare has actually taken away from another big issue at this election, which is the GP payment index freeze. This has been a big ticket item for both the Australian Medical Association and the Aboriginal Community Controlled Health sector, and the government has planned to extend this to 2020. Now, the AMA has said that this payment freeze is actually co-payment by stealth. This index freeze will also have a big impact on the Aboriginal Community Controlled Health sector because their funding is already stretched. We know that the Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander populations have a higher burden of disease than other Australians, and the funding does not meet the needs. According to Eva Cox on 98.8 FM this week, universal healthcare ensures that all Australians have equal access to quality of care. Health, after all, is a human right. What we've seen this election has been a release of the Fern Statement. The Fern Statement is a statement put out by the Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander organisations, including national peak bodies, and has been supported by mainstream organisations within Australia. Now, the Fern Statement is taking a social determinants approach to all things Aboriginal, and has actually shown government how they can actually work with and for Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander peoples. Now, prior to the Fern Statement's release, the Greens had already released a comprehensive Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander platform. Post the Fern Statement, Labor has come out at National Congress of Australia's First People and launched their Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander policies. The Liberal Party has yet to actually respond to the Fern Statement. Another issue this election has been marriage equality. There has been a lot of talk about a plebiscite which has been proposed by the Liberal Party. Now, that plebiscite is meant to cost up to $100 million. The Labor Party and the Greens do not support a plebiscite. What the Labor Party have said they will do is actually bring in a bill within the first 100 days for marriage equality. If we hold a plebiscite within Australia, we are going to see the biggest platform for anti-gay campaigners we've ever seen. The impact that this has on the lesbian, gay, transgender, bisexual and intersex community will be significant. It will have an impact on both their physical health and also their mental health. Something else that's come out of this election has been a proposed sugar tax. Now, this has been proposed by the Greens, and this sugar tax would apply to all soft drinks, and it would be 20%. Now, Senator Nash of the National Party and also the Minister for Rural Health has come out and said that's lazy policy. Now, let's put this into perspective. 2 out of 3 Australians are actually overweight or obese. Labor has also said they won't support it. This is despite the World Health Organisation supporting a sugar tax and also public health organisations within Australia. Now for what's missing in the election debate. Now, one of the things that has been significantly absent has been climate change, and specifically climate change in health. This is despite our health being intrinsically linked to the environment. This is a massive oversight. We really need to be considering the impact of the environment on Australia's health. Now, the Climate Change and Health Alliance has done a scorecard on the major parties, and let me tell you, it's not looking good. What they've said is that both Labor and Liberal do not have substantive policies on climate change. As Dr. Margaret Chan, General Director of the World Health Organisation, has said, and I quote, "A ruined planet cannot sustain human lives in good health. A healthy planet and healthy people are two sides of the same coin. Climate change and health needs to be considered in this election." Something that also needs to be considered, which Croaky will be discussing next week, is mental health and the election. At Croaky, we encourage you to get informed about health issues and consider health when you're voting. Thank you for joining me today.